I just started recording.
I'm also recording.
You want to
Perfect.
do a clappy thing?
Let's do a clap. I'll count it down in tres, dos, uno. That was decidedly out of sync.
It was in sync for me.
Great.
Isn't it weird how it's only in sync for one end? I don't really know how that's decided.
Yeah, for me here, it was like it was clap, clap.
That's usually how it is on my end. So today Zoom is prioritizing me?
Apparently.
I don't know. Thanks, Zoom. Have all of my money.
Bok, bok.
And my children.
Wait. Como se dice wait?
Bok? Some things don't change. I should skim my review really fast before we officially start. Because I don't remember what I wrote.
I'm leaving this all in.
Oh, good. Well, if you're listening...
13. This is episode 14.
We're recording this episode approximately 10 or 11 days after I watched this film. And my memory is terrible, so I'm refreshing my memory on what happened.
Hey. Whatever floats your boat there, Captain.
Remember that? I remember that. Yep. Ooh, that was cool. Yes. I'm remembering all these scenes that I wrote notes about. This is good.
Are you really?
Yes.
Good.
Yep.
Hi. This is how we prep for the show. Hi. I'm Caleb. This is how we prep for our show. Hi.
We prep for our show by rereading our reviews of the movie.
Yeah.
That we didn't write today. At least I didn't. Well, we're already recording. Do you want to see my shirt, Caleb?
Yeah, dude. What do you got going on here?
Okay, so you play guitar.
I've been rumored to play guitar.
I'm trying to get the best view that doesn't have a microphone in it.
Is that a Victor Wooten?
It's not. So actually, I think it would be fun. My mouth
This is
isn't near
such
my
great
microphone.
content. This is such great content.
I want you to guess what you're looking at.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strings. Mm-hmm. It's a Telecaster. Did you make this? Is this? Did you put this? Did you put a guitar on a scanner, kind of like people would put their naked butts on them in the 80s in their office?
I didn't make it. It's actually a Strat, right?
It is a Strat, yes.
Yes, a Strat. I didn't make the shirt. I purchased the shirt. That was made by bleaching.
By bleach?
So if you've ever
that's cool.
seen bleach shirts,
yeah.
This guy uses a mixture of bleach, water of course, and coffee to cut some of the bleach. So if you see a lot of
yeah, it's not like white or that pink kind of color that kind of comes through from bleaching, right?
It tends to look kind of orange typically if you just use straight bleach. Yeah. But this just looks kind of brownish.
Yeah.
So for this particular shirt, the guy literally has an old Strat and he literally dips it in a tub of the mixture and just presses it on the shirts. So I was with my family recently in Seattle, and there's this crazy market there with all these a million little shops and things. Mm-hmm. But there's an open market part, and I want to say the business name is Do Not Bleach.
Interesting.
Is the name of the business, because that's the only instructions for care of the shirts you purchase there is to literally do anything but don't bleach them.
Literally anything.
Literally anything. But anyways, some guy's making all these shirts and he has his buddy selling them, but they had a million designs and this was one.
Sweet.
So they were very cool. That's my story. Riveting content, sir.
That's your story. Sorry, I was also still preparing for the show.
Caleb, this is an audio medium.
I like it. Yeah. Hi.
I'm sort of joking. Also, I was listening to one of our episodes a few weeks ago, and I was like, man, there's a lot of dead time in this episode.
Is there?
There's probably not so much visual gags, but there's moments where we're reading things and like reading trivia out loud, and we're like swapping off, and there's just like a lot of quiet when you're listening to it. Where if you were watching,
it
like,
would make more sense.
Technically it is a video podcast, but like if you're not like staring at it, you may not like see that we're like thinking or reading.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I can like fix that, because Descript has a way for me to just, I can say any amount of silence longer than this, shorten it to, don't remove it, but shorten it to 1 second.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So, and I have done that. I just need to I'm going to put it in my notes right now of.
Cool. Sounds like a fun feature.
Remove silence in the script. Cool. Well, hi. I'm Caleb. That's Brian.
Brian's hat is crooked. Brian's hat is not fixed. I'm Brian.
And this is the One About Godzilla Movies, a
Sure
podcast where we talk about Godzilla movies.
Continues to be.
As previously mentioned, I'm Caleb, and I have seen every Godzilla movie more than 2 times. And
That's a serious feat, sir.
And Brian has not seen any of them but 2014's Godzilla, Legendary Pictures, the second attempt at America making Godzilla movies. And from, in our opinion, I think their best attempt yet.
It was great.
So anyways, yeah, this is that podcast, and today we're here to talk about not the movie we talked about last time, which was King Kong versus Godzilla. That was in 1963. This is the movie that came out the next year, Mothra versus Godzilla, and my spell check has changed Mothra to Mother. Thank you.
Of course it has.
Mother versus Godzilla. No, I still wanted it to be Mothra.
I've decided it's fun having a decent mic now, because when I really want to add some emphasis, I can just lean in like this.
You can really just get in there and let everybody know what you're doing there, brother.
Just really get your mouth up in there. Yep.
Am I going to regret encouraging Brian to upgrade his audio? Only time will tell.
I don't see how you could.
So, this movie, before we jump in, I just want to do one quick little shout out. Patreon.com/The One About Godzilla Movies. You can join and get unedited versions of this podcast, or largely unedited. I just get rid of the really terrible stuff. And there's always just a little bit of extra, some kind of ADHD influenced rant about something that has nothing to do with the movie. So if that's something that really just gets you going in the morning, why did I turn into Dr. Cox from Scrubs there? You can join at patreon.com/The One About Godzilla Movies. A little bit of follow-up from last time. It didn't make it into, this is from, I guess, episode 12, maybe? Yeah, mm-hmm. And this is
14.
When you watch it, it'll be episode 14. Hi. My wife and I are having another baby. Episode 12 begins with, if you are not on the Patreon version, it begins with us kind of slightly alluding to that, but I left the actual reveal in the Patreon version. But yeah, my wife and I are having a baby. So, a second baby.
Announcement.
You heard it here first in the not Patreon version. So, that's some follow-up from 2 episodes ago on a show that nobody watches. Brian, you got anything before we jump into Mothra versus Godzilla?
No, other than I'm very tired.
Great.
And I'm excited that we're talking about this.
This will be succinct, and we're here on Monday.
Very
so
focused,
I got a little just
we're tired.
Just a great little I don't know if I call it a TLDR, a great summary of this movie.
What happens in this movie? What's the
let's give you a 10,000 foot view. Journalists Ishiro Sakai and Junko Nakanishi cover the wreckage of a typhoon when an enormous egg is found by local villagers. The pair join up with a professor and discover that the egg has been sold off to a fishing company called Happy Enterprises. backed by a greedy businessman. They seek to commercially exploit this egg that they found. And Mothra's fairies soon arrive from Infant Island and are aided by our journalist friends in a plea for the egg's return to Mothra and their home of Infant Island. After their requests are denied, Godzilla emerges from the wreckage of the typhoon and heads for Nagoya. And having their goodwill lost, Sakai, Junko, and Mira must take a plea with the people of Infant Island and Mothra to help save Japan from Godzilla.
There you have it.
There you have it. So,
I really like this film, actually.
Yeah? Cool.
I really did. I had to refresh my memory on exactly. It's like, we've watched a few films from the same era of Toho.
Yep,
and by same era,
still,
I mean like they're churning these out like
less than a year apart sometimes.
Yeah. And so there's like a lot of like similarities and things like, but clear difference between the last movie we watched and this one, I think, is that the King Kong versus Godzilla definitely had like some silliness. It's like some goofiness. This one seemed more like straight of the road. A little less silliness. Not necessarily a serious film, but I think it, without being a serious film, it presented itself in a way that asked the audience to take it seriously, if that makes sense. So,
and maybe even the first Godzilla film to do that since the first one.
Yeah.
Or so, like.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked a lot of things with this film. So, we can save our ratings for the end, but yeah. So I watched it like maybe 10 days ago now. Really liked it. How about you?
I most recently finished it today.
Okay.
But I've been kind of stretching out the watching. I've watched it over the course of like 3 or 4 days, just in little chunks.
Piecemeal.
So, yeah.
Cool.
So it's fairly fresh for me, but I'm glad that, just reading your thoughts before we started kind of jogged it all for you. So I know you were kind of worried about that.
Yeah, well, I tend to be forgetful, but it's not that like, it's just that I have to refresh my memory. It's the same thing if like I've learned how to play a song musically or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally the first 5 seconds of the MP3, I'm like, oh yeah, I know where this is going. And it like all comes rushing back. So.
Panic. Oh wait, I'm fine. Okay.
Yes. Did you just like reveal your headspace or?
I mean, sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes.
So you like this movie?
Speaking of
give me some thoughts on it, my friend.
Okay, so this film, like first 5 seconds, Godzilla theme music. Just right off the bat. It's under the titles, opening. It lets us know this is a Godzilla film. I don't know. It's still epic. I like this just right off the bat. It's like the first thing you hear when you hit play on the thing. Big fan of that. We have a really nice opening credit sequence. I'm kind of blanking on whether this was like right out the gate or just maybe like within the first 5 minutes, but there's a bunch of opening credits. They have just kind of this whole sequence where they're doing the credits, and the footage is kind of like, I don't know if it's fully black and white, if it's just kind of dark, but it's just kind of footage of like waves in the ocean. It's kind of black and white. And then the opening credits are just like this bold yellow font. And it just like looks really distinct and really clean and really intentional. And I just really like that look. There is something really nice about like a yellow font over a black and white background that just looks really nice to me. I've always liked it.
Yeah.
So I think that was sick. Yeah, I don't know if you have any notes on this. I just have a line item, if you will, that says miniature typhoon. There's like a bunch of winds, right?
Yeah,
Am I
so
remembering
it's supposed to be a typhoon at the beginning of the movie.
I'm at the moment I'm struggling to remember if what I'm picturing is from the last film or from this film that we're talking about. but I remember a bunch of footage of just these miniature sets just being blown around sideways.
That was this movie.
I think that was this film. Although it's certainly not out of the question that kind of shot would be in all of the other films we've watched. But so I thought that was really well done. Just from a miniature perspective. So really, really good miniature work in this movie. And the first example I've seen, at least from Toho, of bigatures, which is a little further on. I guess I could come back to that, but yeah, good miniature work. There was a really nice through line with this film of these twin fairies from Infant Island who are like what do they call them? They're the representatives of Mothra.
Yeah.
Like sort of princesses? I forget the term that was used. They are referred to as fairies.
Yeah.
But they seem to be sort of like, almost like spiritual characters from the island in terms of the island's relationship with Mothra as a sort of deity
like
kind of a thing.
They are as mystical or deity like as
almost
Mothra
like priestesses
is.
or something, but they're like sort of the spokespeople, if you will.
Yeah.
The
I think
ladies.
Priestess is a good word, like the high priestesses of Mothra or whatever. They're the ones that communicate directly with Mothra.
Yeah, but it's a really nice through line having these returning characters from the Mothra movie.
Yeah, that it's like they are part and parcel with her. Like anytime we talk about Infant Island and Mothra, the fairies are there.
Yes, and it's the same actresses. They kind of dress the same. So if you like watched the Mothra movie right before watching this, it would make a ton of sense actually.
The Wolf of Wall Street meme or whatever.
Is that what you did, Caleb? It's a good idea.
Huh?
You should try that.
What?
Watching Mothra right before this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was really well done. Because of the twin fairies, there were some scenes with bigatures, that is, instead of like small sets, they're like giant sets. So they had some really well done work where they basically kind of built, it seems like, a giant version of the same room. There's some scenes where like the fairies are in a room, they're like coming to like ask
this is when they come to the people at Happy Enterprises.
Yes.
And are trying to ask them to just give the egg back before this flying demon comes to... I just love calling Mothra that because that's what she is. She just is like, give me my stuff back. Anyways, so...
So in the Mothra movie, anytime you like see them in like the human space, they're like kind of blue screened in. And there's like these tough matte lines and stuff. There still is some of that in this film. But they actually like took the steps to build some giant sets for those ladies. So now in this film, we actually like see some shots, for perspective shots, where they're like small and they're like on the ground, they're like next to a chair or something. But it's like a giant room and a giant chair, and so it really just like looks like they're there. Like you're able to suspend your disbelief that much easier, just because they like took the time to build what you might call bigatures. So there was some really great work there that I thought really kind of sold the scale of that. And then along those lines, I just like made a note that like even in all the sort of blue screened characters that we see in this film, the twin fairies being the most prevalent, like the matte lines, like the cutouts around them, if you will, to like insert them on top of the other footage are really clean. It is noticeably better.
Yeah, like,
and I actually have a trivia item about that.
I had it on in the living room one night, and like even Sam said something about it. She's like, "Man, what year is this from?" I was like, 64. She's like, for a film from the 60s, like I could see why, as a young kid, she said you would think that this is all real and you wouldn't notice that kind of stuff because it's actually kind of subtle if you're like not super paying attention to it. And she even commented on some of the miniature stuff too. I think, it was about miniature stuff too. Just like, wow, I could see why kids think this is real because it's not terrible. Like,
yeah,
visual wise for how old it is. So,
yeah, that's interesting. When we started this journey, like watching through all these films, one thing I didn't like really anticipate or think about was that through the lens of Toho Pictures, if you will, we're actually getting to kind of see like a journey of the history of special effects from like the 50s to last year, really, if you think about it. Like everything, especially all of the different kinds of special effects and advancements there, and all of the eras leading up until being able to do computer generated stuff.
Yeah.
Like a lot of iterations. So even just like noticing the difference between the matte lines around the Twin Fairies and Mothra versus this film. Like it's not a lot of time. It's just they invested in a very specific piece of equipment to be able to do that so cleanly. Which is a trivia item we'll talk more about later maybe. But yeah, it's kind of cool to see that progress over time. Be cool to see where things go in the 70s and 80s. So yeah, like that. So later on in the film, we get Godzilla emerging, and the way they did it was pretty cool. So they kind of have like these mud flats, I guess. If I recall correctly, they've gone back to where they discovered a piece of radioactive material that they were studying earlier. They've gone back to the site because they discovered the material they had recovered was radioactive, and so they wanted to go back to the site to see if there was more, or is it Godzilla or something. And then this guy, I think he just kind of like yells out something about look, or everyone's pointing and looking, and you just see this tail come out of the mud. And it's like swinging around. And then he emerges from the ground. I thought that was pretty sick.
Yeah, his tail, and then it's like a couple spines, and then just...
And then you just see like this guy in a suit who's been buried alive stand up. It's
bum, 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 bum. Gosh.
Just like that. It's impossible for me to not see it as like a guy in a suit, but I can also suspend my disbelief at the same time. Right. I'm watching it thinking like, man, that guy really got buried just for the scene, so he could stand up out of the dust.
Yeah.
It's the only way to do it. You can't breathe down there. Come on, this is 1962 or whatever they filmed this. There's no OSHA.
And they're Japanese. Set. They nobody complained about that. He was just like, yeah, this is what it is.
Although OSHA does sound like it could be a Japanese word.
OSHA.
Title. I legitimately just thought of that. Anyways.
Yeah, it's a cancel.
Anyways.
Mall Bell.
That's what they called me in college. Title. I'm just kidding. What else do I have? Oh, another first. I think it's a first. Or I have just been unobservant until this movie. It's a cool scene of Godzilla. He's in like the electricity factory or whatever the heck they call those things. He's one of his first appearances, and he's kind of like bashing through some stuff. I don't remember. Is it a power plant? Where is he? He's like destroying like some kind of like industrial looking area. I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, I think it's just a power plant. I think it's just a nuclear power plant.
Part of the reason I don't remember these things is because it doesn't really matter what it is.
Exactly. In general, I think from here on out, it's like Godzilla decides that he needs more energy, and nuclear power plants are how he's going to get it.
Okay, so it's a recurring theme then. Maybe it was a power plant. I don't remember. Anyways, it's the kind of shot we've seen before in terms of location and subject matter. He's like at some kind of like industrial looking plant, and he's destroying it, and it's in kind of like an area not in the city, maybe it's near the sea or whatever, but it's like, there's some hills around, and he's kind of destroying it. There's a shot that I don't think we've seen before. We get a dolly pan of him like walking in and destroying stuff. And by dolly pan, I mean,
because I know. I just would like you to explain it for everybody.
Well,
else.
yeah. So if you're
I
driving, glance over at the video of this podcast. It's literally like the camera is just strafing sideways, to use a video game term, where it's like, it's basically they have like a sort of like little train track that's running parallel to the thing they're shooting, and then the camera's just moving sideways slowly on those rails. I feel like a lot of our shots of Godzilla that we've had from the 50s till this point in time have been static shots, where the camera's just locked.
Yep.
Like you can see Godzilla movie, but the camera's not moving. So it was nice to see like a little bit of that, because it kind of added some parallax to the scene. You can kind of see the depth perspective in a unique way. Didn't think I'd get that excited about a dolly pan, but it stood out to me. I was like, hey, they haven't done this before. They're trying something new. Like, this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, later on in the film, I mean, spoiler alert, but these two business guys are having an argument. I'm not sure if it adds much to the film, to be honest with you, but they start fighting about money, of course.
Uh-huh.
And then, like, the one guy, like, actually, like, smashed the other guy in the head. There's, like, I think one guy gets stabbed or something. End result is both guys are actually bloody. And I'm like, I don't think we've seen blood in a Godzilla film. First blood?
Huh.
Maybe? First human blood? Right. Visible human blood?
Yeah.
It like stood out to me as like, oh wow, this is serious. They're really fighting. Yeah. Or they're trying to present it that way, that this is serious. So yeah, I don't know. That seems like a first.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I feel like I would have noticed. I don't know. Yeah, man, I really like that dolly pan. I'm going to have to pull it up after we finish recording and watch it again. Yeah. And this movie is also in the Criterion Collection. It seems like a lot of these films are, because of, historical significance. Quality on this one is really great. Must have got their hands on a pretty good reel, restored it. The last film we watched had some pretty tough footage spliced in. It must have just been all they could get their hands on in terms of copies of the film. So this one was great. Good quality. Yep.
You're making my edit work so hard on this one.
I'm making your head work hard?
My edit work.
Because there's silences in my talking?
So much just...
Sorry.
It's fine.
I talk like...
Stop it.
This sometimes. Have fun with that, Descript.
I am human. Hello, this is human speech.
What are some things you liked, Caleb?
Oh, dude.
So much?
Oh, so much, bro. Some of the things that I love about this movie are, first is the the Japanese tagline from the poster. Translated into English, it is a massive Mach 3 moth, the heavy missile tank Godzilla, the sky, sea, and land quake in the fierce battle of the century. And then the American taglines that were added to the poster, like, nothing like this ever on the screen. What is it? How much terror can you stand? See the armies of the world destroyed. See the birth of the world's most terrifying monster. See the war of the giants. So just lots of,
wow.
I don't know, armies of the world destroyed, really? I don't think we saw that.
They really believed in the marketing of this film, I guess.
Sure did, huh? Yeah, I echo a lot of what you thought was great, of like just right off the bat, like all of the improvements in special effects and the changes that they're making to these films, and it like kind of stuck out to me, like you said, that we're seeing the history of visual effects and the evolution of visual effects as we watch these movies. It's cool to see that even though they're just cranking these movies out, there is still innovation, there is still growth, there's still change, and it's not just like a different story and the same 12 shots over and over and over, like something I don't know, as a kid, this movie just felt really, I thought because of all the like stuff you mentioned, the fact that they did a lot better job making the fairies feel small and the bigger sets. There's a bigger and better sense of size of everything in this movie. Like how big Mothra actually is, how big Godzilla is. I think they just do a better job of scale. And then, like, this is the first, like Mothra versus Godzilla meeting, and I really liked this time when I watched it that they, like, there's continuity a little bit of, like, that's the same Mothra from the Mothra movie, and she's beaten up from that movie, and it's however many years later and is dying, and this egg is going to be the new version of Mothra, and like how they didn't speed through anything. They left room for the fact that, like, Mothra died. Mothra is now these two larvae, and just like, I don't know, the movie ends in kind of a weird way to me, in that, like, they do this big huge battle, Mothra dies, protects the egg, they're born, and the like final battle scene where they're just like I thought it was really fun, but like bouncing behind the rocks and then like shooting Godzilla with their web, and just, it's literally like 4 minutes of them like dodging him, kicking rocks around, and like trying to shoot him with his fire breath, and they're like, haha, can't get me, here's more, like popping out from behind rocks. And that they, I don't know, like, just the idea that something so tiny could like mess with Godzilla that much, I think is also kind of what always made me like Mothra a little bit more. Was like just Godzilla thought he won by defeating Mothra. Egg comes out and he's like, oh, I'll just, I don't know. They're tougher than they appear and smarter than they appear, and end up defeating Godzilla in a interesting way for something so like tiny and featureless. I just thought that was cool. I never noticed until I watched this time, there are like 3 or 4 distinct models of the Mothra larva, like the worm guys. There's like when they want them to look like full out worms or whatever, like larvae that have, like, they look like they have a belly and little legs and everything, that as they move across the ground. Then there was one where it's like, it kind of seemed like there was no bottom underneath, and there, like, you could catch a little wheel occasionally. So it's almost like they look like little cars that they actually made, like little like robotic whatever. So maybe this is like early robotics work, but like them moving across the ground, I don't see any wires. I don't see any, like they looked like they were maybe actually some kind of toy or something. So, and then there was like, obviously then the different model made for shooting the webbing or whatever. So there's just like, it's cool to see them do multiple versions of a monster to like help out their filming and make it all look better, What are you thinking about?
What I was thinking is, I wonder if there's any documentaries out there, but probably not. You would know
about like making
the making of things in Toho back in the day.
There might be. I've actually never really like looked into that.
Unlikely that they would have behind the scenes footage in the 50s, but Film's expensive.
Oh, I see. Okay, so what you were talking about earlier, I have a like wiki up because I was doing a little trivia work while you were talking. There were two different attempts by the Japanese Special Defense Force, the JSDF, to corral Godzilla and kill him. They were trying to electrocute him. So they had like there were two attempts of like them using these like artificial lightning generators to try and get him to like try and stop him or kill him, and neither of them worked. So it's kind of like they set up these
earlier in the
industrial
film, I
things.
think, actually.
Really?
Before there was any engagement. I'd have to find the clip again. But I do remember that scene, actually. It's funny because I saw them setting up trying to like electrocute him, and I remember having the thought like, oh no, it's just gonna make him more powerful. And I was like, wait a minute. Nope, that was King Kong. Last film. That was King Kong.
Oh yeah.
King Kong was the one that got zapped up.
Yeah. Oh well, there is the scene too where he comes through
some factory or something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's like the hook. He destroys a hotel, crushing one of the like greedy businessmen, and then he goes to like try and destroy the egg because they've got that giant like structure around the egg. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely am gonna pull it up after, just for fun. But
yeah,
sounds like you like Mothra.
I do. Mothra's my favorite, and I don't know. I like this plot point of, like the people from Infant Island, when the journalists or whatever go to them and are like, please, you've got to help us. Mothra is the only way to stop Godzilla. And they're like, well, you deserve it, basically, you won't give us the egg back. Why would we help you? You deserve whatever's going to happen here. And they like, there's this plea of like, well, yeah, bad people are dying, but all like a bunch of good people are dying too. And like everybody deserves to live and everybody deserves a chance to do better. And that is a little bit of it's a little bit of like positivity, I think, in the commentary part of the story. I feel like every one of these movies has a little bit of a social commentary, a little bit. It started as a nuclear war is bad, that kind of thing. But yeah, to see them kind of put a little bit of twist of hope in it is cool. Or, like a twist of like, it's not just all like, this is commentary on how everything is bad, but like we have a chance to be better, I think is cool. The first time we see that in a film, in a Godzilla film, I think. Yeah. So what didn't you like?
Let me get started.
Oh dear.
I'm just kidding. It's a short list. There's a part of me that believes every time I talk close to the mic that it's peaking, and I want to believe it's peaking because I can't hear it. Because I think it would be funny. Anyways.
I mean, it definitely gets crispier.
Crispy. There was some sped up footage in this movie. I don't know if it was intentional because I read all the trivia items for this movie, though I read them 10 days ago. I do remember seeing something about maybe some like attempts at like slowing down or speeding up some of the fighting, and it maybe not going according to the way they had hoped. So it ended up looking sped up. So that may not have been intentional, but I think it does like stand out as a mistake or something that looks out of place to me. It always looked that way to me with my modern eyes. I wrote down red face question mark. Definitely on the islands. Look at how much people painted red. And I'm like, what is it? What? Why do we keep painting Japanese people other colors?
Yeah, we're not painting people brown anymore. We're
painting them red. It's better, right? I don't know. It's just weird. Why do they need to be red? Why can't they just? I don't know. Anyways, there was. I don't actually remember when in the film this took place, just because I have my note here. But the Twin Fairies are singing their Mothra song at quite a few moments. Maybe it's more just in kind of one section of the film, but they sing their little song a whole bunch. Mm-hmm. Actually, can't think of the whole thing right now. Yeah, I'm sure you haven't.
Is this that scene from Hot Rod where they're all trying to harmonize with the bell?
Do you know that whole thing was improv?
Bah!
It was not in the script.
That doesn't
just
surprise me at
happened.
all.
No. He hit the bell, and then he just decided to do that, and they just got kind of all matched his energy, and he just went on for several minutes. It was amazing. I love that movie. Anyways, they are singing their song, and at least one moment, they're singing their song, and it is just over the top of other music that is in the film, and it does not. It's very distracting to me. I don't really know why they wouldn't compose around that and make it an intentional thing, but it was just kind of like we were just going to superimpose them singing their song on top of this very different music that's going on in the movie.
Put it in the same key, or something.
That was a fail, I think. I wrote down crazy Godzilla eyes. His eyes still look dumb, and I hate them.
Still.
But
it doesn't get better.
All this money on miniatures and bigatures. You can't just make his eyes look cooler, man. Why does he look goofy?
Right.
He looks silly. And then I don't know. Maybe this is nitpicky, or maybe I'm ADD. I don't think I am. The pacing felt a little long to me, even though it's a 90-minute film. I kind of expected it to feel short or feel like well-paced. It kind of felt like there wasn't enough story for 90 minutes or something. Like, it felt like a 2-hour movie, but it wasn't. That, to me, says the pacing isn't right.
Yeah.
Or there's not enough story. That's what that tells me. But
and like I mentioned, that I watched this over the course of 3 days, and that is part of it, because I was just like, at least one time I was just like, man, this isn't over yet.
Yeah, I thought that several times, which is not something you want your audience to think ever when they're watching your film. So
exactly.
I think they probably just needed some more story. I don't know. I don't imagine back then I don't know if they had target lengths in the editing room or what the theater space looked like, but I don't know. That's all I have, really.
Who knows? Okay, cool.
But I really liked it. Just overall, I think what it was, not just the fact that it's in the Criterion Collection. There's a lot of these films in their Criterion Collection. But I remember having a distinct thought. I guess I should have written this down, really, but a distinct thought of if I was gonna recommend 5 to 10 of these films after having seen all of them, I feel like this is definitely one of them. As a quintessential must-watch Godzilla film. My list so far is 54 in this movie, chronologically speaking.
Yeah.
This feels like a good one to include. It just feels like a classic.
I mean, it is. It feels like a classic, and history agrees with you. It is. Fans, critics. It's even a trivia item that it is considered one of the best of the Showa era films. And I think that's why it's in the Criterion Collection for a reason. It's a classic kaiju movie. It's a classic Godzilla movie.
Classic face-off movie.
Yeah.
Clash of the Titans movie. Kind of a thing.
Yep.
So, yeah, I liked it.
Let's
do a little trivia. Didn't like?
Everything I didn't like, I chimed in with you when I needed to. I don't really have anything else to call out. I agree. The pacing was a little and too much of Mothra's theme, for sure.
Too much, you say?
Too much. Too much, and they just like you said, it doesn't match the music sometimes, and it's what is the? Why are we here?
Yeah. Our trivia?
Yeah, trivia, dude.
Or do we talk about our rating first?
I don't care. I don't care.
Okay, I give it a 4 out of 5 stars.
4 out of 5?
Yep.
I would also give it a 4 out of 5. Yeah.
I was kind of hovering at a 3.5 based on the pacing. But then I countered that with the way that I felt about this feeling like a classic quintessential. That brings it to a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I think
a lot of things it has going for it, I think.
Yeah, it has a lot going for it, and I think that even though it came out the year after King Kong versus Godzilla, it's like they learned a lot from this movie, saw what worked, what didn't work, and kind of went from there. And it's like a definite shift from that movie. So what you called out in the beginning, right? It's a little more serious. It's a little less like the camp and the rock'em sock'em robot kaiju extravaganza of King Kong versus Godzilla is is nowhere in this film.
Like, it doesn't feel to me like they made it more serious. It's more just that they took out the silliness.
Exactly.
And the end result is that it feels more serious, even though they didn't like give it a darker tone.
Right.
They just took out the goofs.
Yep. I got a couple really interesting bits of trivia for you. There were 17 different bespoke titles for this movie for its release in 19 different countries.
Oh.
I'm not going to read all of them to you, but yeah, it got 17 different names and from the time that it was released in Japan to France. The last release of it, its first release in France was 1995, but it came out between 1964 and 1967 in 18 countries.
I'm having ChatGPT summarize all 17 for me right now. Having ChatGPT up while recording this is the greatest idea ever.
Godzilla against Mothra, Godzilla versus the Thing.
Yeah, the Thing I see a lot in here.
Godzilla and the prehistoric caterpillars.
I really like Italy, which is essentially Watang and the Fabulous Empire of the Monsters.
Yeah.
They went very different for that.
Panic in Tokyo, Godzilla and Monster Mothra.
Godzilla and the Primeval Caterpillar.
Strong Godzilla. That was the Iceland title. Oxberry Godzilla.
Doesn't Godzilla get defeated in this movie?
The title in Greece, Fujiyama Operation. It's also a really great Smiths record.
Oh my God. Why is everything a Smiths record?
It's also a great Flim.
Okay, do you have anything in your trivia about Skeleturtle?
I do not have anything about Skeleturtle.
Do you remember that on Infant Island?
The Mysterious Bones.
The guys who are coming to meet the Infant Island people and like ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
Like right as they kind of get on shore, there's like a skeleton of a turtle in the background, and it like moves a bit.
Really?
It's like a skeleton. Yes, but it moves. I noticed it immediately, and I was like, "Was that on purpose or was that a gag?" Literally, the skeleton moves, and I was like,
Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
Knowing Toho, that wasn't on purpose, and they're not going to follow up with anything about that. But
no.
Literally, IMDb first trivia item is about it. It says here that this is often misunderstood to be an error, but it's actually intentional choice. It's inspired by an Italian documentary, A Dog's Life, which showcased the decomposed remains of a turtle that swayed in the wind.
What?
Some fans say that I think it looks like it blinks. It almost looks like like a dehydrated, on the brink of death turtle that is technically still alive but barely. It's very dark.
Weird.
The fact that it moves slightly, I was like, oh, this island has been through some crap. But yeah, it's been dubbed Skeleturtle. I guess it made a cameo in a Godzilla comic, and Toho has actually sold merchandise of the creature. So the translation of their title for it, which isn't listed here, is translated as Mystery Bones of Infant Island.
Interesting.
So it seems like something you'd be interested in.
Yeah.
I
have one here. We're
we can
popcorning
swap
back
off.
forth whether you want to or not. The upper lip on this suit has a bit of a wobble, like when he walks, the upper lip moves. That was not a design choice, during filming, where he like smashes into the castle, the guy in the suit fell and like slammed his head into the miniature, and it like
Didn't they have to do it twice and rebuild the miniature?
Yeah, and like messed up the teeth and the jaw, and then like the special effects director liked the way that it looked after that and like kept it. And then the same thing, there's a scene where they're like firing those C-460 bombs at him, and it catches the head on fire. That was not in the script.
Yep.
And the dude just kept acting like the script required him to, even like, yeah. And so then apparently, by the trivia here, by the time they got to filming Ghidorah, the three-headed monster that came out like that same year, they had to just replace the whole head entirely because it had been damaged so much from stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing I was looking at was about the head being on fire. I remember noticing that when I was watching, and I was like, pretty sure that the suit's on fire currently.
Yeah.
That can't be great. There's a dude like sewn into that thing.
Right? Just, okay, here we go.
Again, no OSHA back then. Though it does seem like a Japanese word.
OSHA. Hi.
Yeah, I just said this, but when Godzilla destroys that castle, they had to do it a few times and like rebuild the castle.
Goodness.
Because they were trying to get the castle to fall a certain way, and I guess it wasn't going according to plan. They have like two guys behind the castle, like pushing it with sticks. So
to get it to like fall the way that they want it to.
Right, and I guess like take one, they like triggered it a bit prematurely before Godzilla even got to it. So it seems like the kind of thing that would be an easy to solve. Like just get the cue right.
Right.
But the reason they had to do it multiple times just because of the cues being wrong.
I remember my first day.
It's tough. So
tough out here in these streets.
Your turn.
Yeah, so Mothra vs. Godzilla is one of only 3 Toho films to be released simultaneously in Japan and America, or like at least within the same year. The other 2 are Shin Godzilla and Godzilla -1. So since 1963, nothing until like the most 2 recent Toho Godzilla films.
Wow.
Or 1964, yeah, because Shin Godzilla and Godzilla
I remember reading
-1
that,
are the
but I didn't
2
realize
most
there was
recent.
such a gap. Nothing since this was released at the same time.
Right.
Wow, they really marketed it, huh?
Pretty crazy.
I'm told from the thing I'm reading, this is like the last film where Godzilla is depicted as a malevolent figure. I guess they had plans to transition Godzilla to being more of a hero rather than like a villain. Which, I mean, you've seen all the films, but after this film, would you say that is fair?
Yes.
Maybe more of an anti-hero, but then like
anti-hero.
but not the villain anymore.
Yeah, and I think from here it's because things just start attacking, and he just decides to defend. But I don't know if I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything.
Cool.
There is I think we've mentioned it before, probably a long time ago. There is an anime on Netflix called Godzilla Singular Point that I like a lot. It's very, very good. But in the 3rd episode, there are 2 little Easter egg mentions of this movie in particular. In Nagashio City, there's like a billboard in the background of a scene promoting Happy Enterprises. And then in the same episode, the one of the antagonists of the series meets this guy Takahiro Kai at Happy Enterprises amusement park, and Takahiro is he's the greedy other businessman with like the backing in this movie.
The money.
Yeah, he's the money for Happy Enterprises. So
I mean, What a company name, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they tried really hard with these. I rolled my eyes at that one. Come on. Something better, please. Speaking of Mothra, I think I've seen it twice now. There appears to be a moth loose in the room behind you on video. So
Interesting.
editing, Caleb, you may want to find that for fun.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned it earlier, but
I think this is a good time to show you my chibi Godzilla and Mothra.
you're what?
They've been hanging out back there on that shelf the entire time that we've done this show. And I think this is the episode to show you.
Okay. Show and tell.
Show and tell. Tell and show.
Not to be confused with Chantel.
I can't hear you. I unplugged my headphones. I can't hear you. Why am I yelling?
Hey, Caleb, I hate you a lot.
What?
What?
I heard that. You hate me a lot.
Nice. You said show and tell. I said not to be confused with Chantel,
Chantel. Sade.
who isn't a real person. Continue.
Sade.
Is this one of those Patreon exclusive ADD moments?
Chibi
my
Godzilla.
gosh. What is the first word you're saying? Because I don't know it.
Chibi. CHIBI.
What is that?
It is the act of, or it is an anime. It's a style of miniaturizing and cartoonizing, cuteizing things. Yes, you chibi it. It's a Japanese thing. So,
Those eyes are still better than the ones on the suit in this film.
right?
Fight me.
Look at that. Look at that cute little guy. Huh? And then Mothra.
Mothra. Okay, that's adorable.
Cute little Mothra. Yeah. The back is kind of plain.
Mothra.
So yeah, they've been back there on that shelf every episode, and they'll go back there after we're done. So, but yeah, that's Mothra and Godzilla.
Cute. Stay
Cute.
tuned for the chibi version, the version of Brian and Caleb.
There is already a chibi version of me on a T-shirt from the band I was in high school. Do you want me to tell that story?
Not if you don't have a photo of it.
I don't. I really don't.
Cancel the whole thing. We'll see you on the next one.
Okay, bye.
Just kidding. It's unfortunate. I would
What
like
if I
to see
like
that.
black it out there for like 1 second and then we're back into the episode?
Actually, I might have like an AI generated something that's like not too far off from. Yeah, I'll have to find it.
There was a manga adaptation. Are you familiar with manga? You know what manga is. Cool. So there was a
this
manga
film?
adaptation of the film, illustrated and published in May of 1964, in a children's comic magazine named Adventure King.
Only a few months before this release. Then
Yeah. Yep.
good marketing.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, you mentioned it earlier, but just that the Mothra in this film is canonically the same one from the Mothra film, just like at the end of her life.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's interesting that there's such a strong through line from the Mothra movie, and then Godzilla is just like, yeah, there's another one.
Oh gosh.
We've
Whoa.
stopped coming up with reasons to explain it. There's just
He's
Godzilla.
just here. He just show. We don't.
I mean,
Nobody invites him. He's just here.
they had an excuse in the second film, and they just kind of gave up after that, I feel like.
Yeah. This was just. Wow.
Also mentioned earlier the scale work with bigatures. One of the few instances it says here in which he had to work at the opposite scale for miniatures, creating giant furniture props for the fairies to inhabit. They built them at 8 times scale. Those are
That's so great.
giant furniture.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, your typical lazy boy, I don't know, it's maybe 4 feet tall in the back. So, what's 4 times 8? Math isn't my strong suit. Imagine a chair 32 feet high. Like, that's giant.
That is pretty huge.
Sounds like something to be prime for some Instagram reel. Giant 32-foot chair.
Your mom's a 32-foot chair.
Your face. Dude, you suck, man.
Title.
I have an item here about a U.S. version of the film sequence, which I haven't seen. I don't know about you. I have not seen. I watched the Japanese release of this film. There was a sequence in which Godzilla is attacked by the U.S. Navy, and they only used it in the U.S. version.
Interesting.
And I guess they shot it outside. They don't typically shoot Godzilla in the suit outdoors. It's much less control of an environment, of course, but maybe I'll YouTube that at some point. Maybe it's out there. That clip.
Yeah, I'm reading about it right now. That's interesting. The most notable difference. Huh.
Yeah.
Cool. So, we did our ratings already. There's some trivia for you. You saw Chibi Godzilla and Mothra. We spoiled the movie for you, and we talked about it in probably the most boring way possible. And if you've made it this far, I want to thank you. I don't know what I want to say next. I think that means we should probably wrap this up. What do you think, man?
10-4.
All right. Well, next movie, that's what we should do. We're going to figure out what the next movie is.
Well, normally what we would do here is talk about the budget of the film. But the last few films we've reviewed have not had any budgetary data on IMDb that I can see. And, you could find that stuff elsewhere, but it looked more like guesswork than real data, so IMDb usually has only real data, so
really, who cares?
Yeah. It's more about, this one I actually was looking for it because it was released concurrently.
It's such a well-loved, it's such a well-loved film.
And
too.
I was curious, did it do really well in the U.S.? Did it do really well in Japan?
Yeah.
I'll ask ChatGPT, actually.
I might watch the next one right now. Oh, hey, fun fact. The fairies, they are IRL twins. Yumi and Emi Ito.
Yes. I was looking them up, and I was just curious. I mean, I kind of already knew that answer because they were clearly blue screened together. It wasn't like the same person blue screened multiple times. There would have been more lines. Oh, we're not done. I need to find the trivia item about the matte lines, the blue screen lines.
Oh, yeah. You had a thing about...
is that? Oh, I found it. Also, I have budgetary information, and that could be our final two items. Thanks for sticking around. This was the first Godzilla film to use an Oxberry Optical Printer to create composite shots, which was an improvement on those seen in previous films. I have not researched this optical printer. I probably should have before recording this. But Tsubaraya, is that the director, perhaps? Someone working on this film, in charge of things, had been telling Toho to invest in this highly expensive piece of equipment ever since he took a tour of the studios in Hollywood. So I guess this is something they were using in Hollywood.
What's the name of it again?
The Oxberry Optical Printer. It was something used in the U.S. first, and he had seen it being used in Hollywood. And he was like, Toho, you need to invest in this. And they were reluctant to make, an expensive investment. But he did manage to convince them, and I guess later he formed his own company. So, yeah.
Nice. Let's see.
While you read about that, I have...
An optical printer is a piece of equipment designed to copy motion picture film. Typical optical printer has a projector at one end and a camera at the other. By running film through the projector and rephotographing it with the camera, you can create a near-perfect duplicate of your original. But that's just the start. By moving the camera or projector around or zooming the lenses in and out, you can change the size and orientation of the final image. You can alter the timings to slow things down or speed them up. You can employ filters to change colors And through clever use of masks, you can create animated transitions between shots or combine lots of separate images into one. In short, with an optical printer, you can create almost any visual effect you like.
Huh. A guy named John Oxberry invented it. So the term Oxberry Optical Printer is probably just referring to the guy who invented it.
Yep.
So significant step in visual effects.
1957.
I think maybe the precision may have been some of the improvement over the previous film. This thing really helped with precise control over frame alignment, exposure, and image size. So I'm guessing that helped there. So
yeah.
Okay, numbers. Budgetary number, not budgetary, but box
Performance.
office.
Yeah.
Japan, US. Japan earned about $3 million during its release for 3.5 million tickets. US, it was Godzilla versus the Thing, of course, which we mentioned earlier. It got like 2.2 million. Not too bad.
Nice.
So about
that's
2/3.
Yeah, it's like 3,064,000 is like 30 million today.
Okay. Yeah, we don't know what the budget was, but we're gonna assume that they made their money back. So
yeah, I would assume so.
those are my final items.
Sweet. I am genuinely really excited about the next film, Ghidorah, the three-headed monster.
That's the next one, yes.
It came out the same year, and Mothra is in it again. Rodan is in it again, and this is where it's only going to get
everybody is in it.
It's our first everybody's in it, and it's like things only get weirder from here. This is our first this thing is from outer space. It's not it's not from Earth. It's not our fault kind of thing.
We're going cosmic with this thing.
We sure are. Yep. And yeah, dude, I'm so excited. This movie scared me as a kid. This was like one of the first Godzilla movies to scare me when I watched it.
The next one.
Yeah, Ghidorah. It's going to be fun.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all of that. Again, I'm Caleb. That's Brian. This is the One About Godzilla Movies. I want to invite you to go to patreon.com/the One About Godzilla Movies to get longer versions of the episode and help support us. Because, back in the day, artists and musicians and all that stuff, and by back in the day, I mean 15th century, people who made people who made things that furthered the human soul, they didn't have to work because their work was making the things that furthered the human soul. I'm not saying that this podcast necessarily furthers the human soul. However, analogy. It is content and it takes work to make. And so if you enjoy it, we would enjoy your support. You can also look us up on Instagram. Brian cuts together a pretty funny reel for every episode, just highlighting a little something from every episode.
Little clips and stuff.
Just little clips and stuff. And I think I would like to get those on TikTok, and I think I can make that happen myself. So, yeah, sure. Look us up on Instagram, The One About Godzilla Movies, and we'll see you on the next one. I love you. Bye.
See you on the next one. Stay tuned. Come out next week. It might be 4 months from. You're for sure cutting this part out, but I don't care.
I'm so glad I encouraged you to get a better microphone.
I am excited to find out what this sounds like because I'm eating it right now.
Eating it.
I am eating it.
Ed. You shouldn't be jumping anything with your blood pressure, Ed. Sorry, I'm just quoting Ferris Bueller.
So
we'll see you on the next one.
Stop recording now. Oh,
bye. Stop recording.
You can decide whether you want to keep that in.